Hey guys, God bless you all. Much love. NFL season begins today. I'm going to break down a few aspects of the NFL and professional sports in general. I'm going to go over the death of an ex-NFL player. Always seems to be a tragic death right before the NFL season begins. And the most recent one is Mike Williams, dies at age 36 in construction site accident. All right, so I'll go through this code, then I'll go through a few other things. Ex-NFL star Mike Williams dies age 36 in construction site accident. Michael Anthony Williams is a former American football wide receiver who played for 5 seasons in the National Football League. He played college football at Syracuse and was drafted by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the 4th round of the 2010 NFL Draft. Mike Williams, 36, known for playing for the Buccaneers, was working at a construction site when a steel beam hit his head. You'd think 5 years playing in the NFL would be enough to set you for life, according to how much they supposedly get paid. But this guy needed to work on a construction site, and a steel beam just hit his head and he's dead. So he wore number 19 and he died at age 36. Now, Pope Francis was born in 1936. He's so connected to the NFL. I remember Super Bowl 56. That season began on 9/9, 99 days before his birthday. And then Super Bowl 56, the 2 starting quarterbacks, both wore number 9. And the Super Bowl was in California, which was founded on 9/9. And the last play of Super Bowl 56 was by Aaron Charles Donald, number 99. 1936 is, first of all, it's when Pope Francis was born. It's when the Spanish Civil War began. Just know that Pep Guardiola, the Spaniard, won the treble with Man City, and he ended the season with 1,936 all-time career points. 1936 also connects to King George V, because he died in 1936. So number 19 dying at age 36. No shock with everything that's been going on with Pope Francis. So he made his name with Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This tells me that Tampa Bay Buccaneers will not be winning Super Bowl 58. Okay, I know a lot of people in this community will go, Williams, he played for Tampa Bay. He was drafted by Tampa Bay. This is a ritual for Tampa Bay to get to the Super Bowl. No, it's not. He also played for the Chiefs, though, which is interesting. And the Chiefs are opening this season's NFL season against the Lions. The Lions had a 9-8 record last season. The Queen died on 9-8. And obviously England's logo is known as the 3 Lions when you're talking about the football national team. And I've never understood why the NFL is the National Football League, where they barely use their feet. It makes sense now. I understand the code, though, because it's all connected. Remember how Brady witnessed Ronaldo break the all-time record of goals scored. Brady was at Old Trafford. Finished 3-2. Ronaldo scored 3 goals, and Brady retired the 32nd day of the year, and there's 32 teams in the NFL, just like there were 32 teams at the World Cup. Now, Brady won his last ever Super Bowl. He did it in Tampa, with Tampa. I predicted that before the season began, said they'd beat the Chiefs 9 months before it happened. By beating the Chiefs 31-9, it's when Mahomes was unable to throw a touchdown. And Williams died 3 months and 19 days after his birthday, 3/19. Tom Brady retired 319 days before the Pope's birthday. And I've showed you how Brady was the 199th pick and how Pope Francis was born 12/17, Saturnalia, 12/17, 199th prime. Saturn has 7 rings. Brady retires with 7 rings. Now, him dying in a construction accident, it makes me think of 9/11, Because I always talk about how the World Trade Center construction began 33 years before it came down. So it began in 68 and came down in 2001. So I think about 9/11 with him going out in the construction accident. 9/11 is the 156th prime number, and he died 15 weeks and 6 days after his birthday. So it just makes even more sense now. And interestingly, 9/11, that leaves 111 days left in the year. And he died 111 days after his birthday. 9/11 connects to the Queen because she died 911 days after coronavirus was declared a global pandemic. Interestingly, New York got badly hit in the US by coronavirus. And she died at age 96, which again, I predicted 2 years before it happened. I've got a book about it if you want to purchase it. And Williams died on 9/6. The Queen was born on the 111th day of the year, which is April the 21st. Now, he died at age 36, and 666 is the 36 triangular number. Tom Brady won Super Bowl 51 on the 36th day of the year in what was the greatest comeback of all time in a Super Bowl. New England Patriots were up against Atlanta Falcons. The Falcons were leading by 25 points in the Super Bowl and lost. Brady wasn't only just involved in the greatest comeback of all time in a Super Bowl, he was also involved in the lowest scoring Super Bowl. All right, just so you all know, Brady connects to Revelation. I could and I should write a book about it. He was involved in Super Bowl 53. Okay, it was the Patriots against the Rams. It finished 13-3. Now, Pope Francis became the Pope on 13-3, the 13th of March. In gematria, football equals 133. And before Williams was drafted by the Buccaneers, he played for 3 seasons for the Syracuse Orange as a wide receiver. He had 133 career receptions. So this is staggering. Mike Williams dies age 36 in a construction site accident. And going back to that lowest scoring Super Bowl, Super Bowl 53. 13-3, guys. It was 3-3 after the third quarter, right? 3-3-3. For everyone who's saying that man is coding this, let me give you some 3-3-3s with Brady, shall I? I will. Okay, Brady retired with 333 days left in the year. He retired having made $333 million in the NFL. He played his last ever Super Bowl on 2/7, which he won. Now, 2/7 is 27, and 3 times 3 times 3 equals 27. Now, Brady as a starter in the NFL, again, tell me man's coding all of this. As a starter, he started 333 regular season games. Now, going back to the 27, in his first ever NFL game, it was for the Patriots against the Jets, the year of 9/11, guys, the Jets. And he lost that game 10-3. Now, 103 is the 27th prime number, and Brady retired during the 103rd NFL season. 33.3% of the angels were cast out of heaven, guys. 33.3%. So, in the fourth quarter, the Patriots scored 10 points. Sonny Mitchell rushing to score the only touchdown for either team. You're telling me that the 2 best teams in the NFL that season combined for 16 points? You have to be joking, right? And that game, by the way, was on 2-3, and Brady played 23 seasons in the NFL. He was born on 8-3, the 23rd prime. But Super Bowl 53. 53 is the 16th prime number. So there's 16 points in Super Bowl 53. Is that why Italy won the Euros for the first time in 53 years by winning the 16th edition, guys? Guys, can you hit that like button? I'm pinging out crazy information for you here. Just seeing the third woman to come out against Anthony with abuse claims. She's 33. An MUFC ex-women manager claims of sexual assaults, and he was a guest of honor at a match last season. Guys, it's this cancel culture. It's to have women and men go against each other. It's just Satan, the accuser, just trying to divide us. Anthony, guys, all you need to do is Google his girlfriend and see it's a man. And Anthony, I don't really want to get into it. Just look at Anthony's little arms, just like Sterling. It's not a genetic male. All right? And as soon as he bleaches his hair blonde, wasn't he Man United's record signing as well? Just outrageous. Hey, JR. No, Anthony's a Man United player for the Red Devils. Is bang average, which I said even when he was at Ajax. It's one of those highlight players. All right. We all know as well, left-footed players, they always look better because there's not many of them. All right. And he's done absolutely nothing at United. Like I said, he'd do nothing. Bang average footballer. So, hey, Chris Holden, much love to you. Hey, Miss Jones. From 9/9 to the Pope's birthday is 99 days. It's also 67 days till Charles's birthday. Also, you're going to love this one. It's 187 days from Pi Day in 2024. And you know that 6/7 is the 187th day of the year. Brilliant, mate. It's good stuff. You think England are going to beat Ukraine 9-0? That ain't going to happen. Great info, dude. Thank you. Let's go, Harry Kane or Hurricane. He should score number 9 on 9-9, but we'll see. Corn Dog, listen, mate. I'll just have to get rid of you. I'm not in the mood for dealing with you, whoever you are. I'm not a cult member whatsoever. So I'll get rid of you now, to be honest. It's crazy how these people come into my lives, just giving some gold information, and then whoever that guy is. So England can pick up their 603rd win, and 603 and do decimal is 423. And look who has 423 goals. Who's that? Who has 423 goals? Is it Kane? Netherlands might win the Euros as well, 36 years after their last one. There's a lot of phenomenal riddles for teams for the Euros, Germany, England. I haven't seen the Netherlands one, but I'm sure it's great. I think it's the last ever Euros. That's what I'm focusing on. Adam, is it true that Mozart's life was scripted? As Decoded Reality said, I'm not even sure Mozart existed, is my answer to that. To be honest with you. So I'm going to briefly discuss how I'll focus on the NFL. The NFL outcomes are predetermined, but it's by a code. Oh, Ukraine have 423 goals since the foundation. That's really interesting, bro. All these games are predetermined. All right? The outcomes, who scores, when they score, it is predetermined. But it's not predetermined by a man-made script. So I'll focus on the NFL. If you recall, I told you this season, the NFL, NBA, they're going to start implying that they're all following a script. And I think I've nailed it because we've already seen a few commercials. I said this, 6 months ago? We've seen a few commercials saying that, well, this was the script. or the script wasn't from it a win. We're hearing it now. So they want you to think it's man. They know, or maybe they don't know, but there is this awakening. There are people like myself and you guys who are seeing through it now. So they're going to tell you that it's all scripted. Just like they did in wrestling. Again, I'm not even showing wrestling. I know they say they've got this backstage team that determine who's going to win. I almost feel like that's already been determined as well. All right. I don't think it's like Vince McMahon saying, all right, we're going to have Roman Reigns. His title reign is going to be from this date to this date. He's going to drop it to this guy. I think it's all predetermined. So I'll focus on the NFL. So each year, we're supposed to believe that the NFL commissioner and the rest of the NFL league office somehow convince all 1,696 NFL players to fulfill the script of the upcoming season. All right? 1,696 NFL players are all sat down, whether it's in an office or whatever it may be, or in a stadium, or they're doing a Zoom call, and they're going through the scripts of every single game, and for it to perfectly work out, and for them all to keep it a secret. And again, this is just the NFL. I ain't talking the Premier League and the NBA and the NHL and the World Cup and the Euros and the Olympics and whatever it may be. These scripts, which they're going to imply that man's doing it, that the NFL commissioner's giving them a script, and we want this team to win because they have the star quarterback and they bring in the most revenue. It ain't about money. I've shown you that with the World Cup, why it was in Qatar. It was all biblical. So just be aware, a lot of you are going to be saying, I told you so to your friends when they start saying it's scripted. I told you all pro sports were scripted, didn't I? No, not the way that they want you to think. Got to realize how the devil works. Okay, he plants half-truths. So, listen. And again, this is our whole reality, which we're told is scripted by man, which is nonsense, because I look at my own life and the personal sinks I've had. I know that man hasn't coded my life. All right? This is people who don't have God in their life, who need God in their life saying that. So you're going to hear people saying we were dedicated to the script. And then what you see is extremely controversial calls, okay, or blatant errors, either from the officials or the quarterback or whoever it may be. The wide receiver, he's got an open catch, he drops it, he fumbles it, all right, ball comes loose, the other team picks it up, goes from one side of the field to the other and win the game. And then what you're going to hear from people on Twitter or whatever it may be who are spiritually dead, they're going to come out and say, look, Vegas Insider, the majority of the money was on the Chiefs to win. And they had it locked up. All they had to do was get a field goal, and they were in field goal position, and they went for the touchdown, and then they fumbled it, and they ended up losing the game. And that's because Vegas flipped the script in the last 30 seconds because they would have lost too much money if the Chiefs won. I understand when you watch these games, okay, and you see these outrageous decisions and errors by professional athletes or officials, I can see why you say it's scripted. When you code at my level, all right, you see how deep it is. You see that man isn't coding it, and you see it's not about money. Okay? What I will say to all of you who do gamble, learn to gamble smart, and when you get offered a nice amount of money, take it. Because it doesn't matter what sport it is, guys. All right? A team can be cruising it for 3/4 of the game, absolutely cruising it, whether that's in football, baseball, basketball, even in golf. Player can be up by 7 shots going into the last day and lose. A couple of double bogeys. All right. Guys behind him hit a couple of eagles. Whoa. Now it's only 3 shots in it. All right. You take the money and you run. It's what smart people do. But unfortunately, there's not many smart people. That's the harsh reality. So be aware that the NFL are going to start telling you that it's scripted. Ex-players are going to come out saying, yeah, follow the script. I followed the script. That's why I won 4 Super Bowls. I was lucky. The script was in my favor. That would require, guys, every weekend. So what have we got? 32 teams in the NFL. Okay, so that would be 16 games in a week. Most of them are televised, if not all of them. Of course, you've got your primetime games, more attention on them, more eyes on them, and probably more money on them. And they're all involved in this script, every single one of them. What happens if the script is for a player to get a touchdown and he literally snaps his leg in the first couple of minutes? Snaps his leg. He's running. Somebody hits him. His foot gets stuck in the ground. He snaps his leg. But listen, he's supposed to be the guy who gets the first touchdown. The whole script's revolved around him. Then what? Have they got riders at the side just flipping it? The outcomes are too perfect for any script to be flipped. I don't believe in the history of professional sports that they've ever flipped a script. Ever. Because it wasn't their script to flip. And it's very easy to lose money and say, they played 9 minutes added time and my team were winning 2-0 and they somehow drew 2-2. It was rigged. It wasn't rigged. It was going to finish 2-2 with that amount of minutes played, with those players scoring. Simple as that. It's the same as when we talk about politics. We always hear politics is rigged. They're selected, not elected. To an extent, there's a lot of truth in that. But it ain't a group of people sat in a room saying, right, we'll have Trump as president. We'll give him 4 years, then we'll give it to Biden, and maybe we'll have Trump come back in. Giving credit to man. All right? And again, that's what the majority of these YouTubers are doing here, and these people on Twitter. They're telling you that it's man. It's man. And it just gets you angry. God's fully in control. God's basically saying, you want to worship your heroes? You want to give your sacred time to watching the NFL and not studying scripture? Do it. God will allow it. Watch it. All right? And he'll make it entertaining for you. All right? And I do believe now God is revealing so much that he's making things so blatant. And again, you can give all credit to Satan if you want. We're seeing the symbolism. We're seeing the controversial decisions. All right? And it's almost like God's saying, come on, you're still going to worship these people and not me? That's how I see it. That's how I see it. So I'd love to know your opinions. I know Alto's there with me. You get a lot of fans who do this. All right? You get a lot of fans who will say it's rigged when their team loses. But when their team wins, it's all about talent. Okay, have you noticed that? Oh, it's so rigged. It's just like how fans love a player. One week they might absolutely love, for example, Aaron Rodgers. All right, the greatest quarterback. I'm friends with quite a few Packers fans. I know he's at the Jets now. One week they would love Aaron Rodgers, is the GOAT, what a player, incredible. Come to the playoffs, where he seems to struggle. For some reason, he's like incredible in the regular season. Yeah, but that's his script illusion. Be quiet. No, it's not. He's incredible in the regular season, and he seems to struggle in the playoffs, Aaron Rodgers. So the majority of the season is the GOAT, is incredible. Nobody's better. And then it's like, we need to get rid of Rodgers. Ain't good enough. Not good enough to be playing for us as starting quarterback. Don't have the mindset. It's like we see it all this. We see it with coaches, guys. All right, you see the fans booing a coach because they lose 2 games on the bounce, and then they'll upset. Oh, look, that's why we signed him. That's why we signed him. We've just got to be patient. It's like fickle. I think when it comes to professional sports, it's fickle, the word that comes to my mind. Maybe naive. I think fickle's the best way to describe it. So, again, I'm going to just read some examples of incidents in the NFL, okay? And it is becoming clearer and clearer now, I believe. I think even the most diehard NFL fan is starting to question something not quite right. But if they do wake up to it, they're going to just say it's all about money. It's money. Well, it's not about money whatsoever. Again, if that NFL player was in the NFL for 5 seasons, then he works on a construction site. I'm pretty sure they're not getting millions and millions of dollars. So I'm going to talk about the tuck rule here, right? The tuck rule. When an NFL quarterback is hit and the ball comes loose, it's called a fumble, right? And then there's all that drama. You see them all fighting over a ball. It probably goes to commercial. So you guys are all discussing, who's got it? Is it a Chiefs player? Is it a Vikings player? Who's got it? Find out after the commercial break. So it is entertainment. It is energy harvesting. But whoever's got that ball in the hand, it's not determined by a script. Carly Pink Joseph, God bless you. I was actually thinking about you a few weeks ago. I hope you're well. Thank you very much for that. Thank you. God bless. So I'll go back to this. So unless that QB's arm is moving forward in a throwing motion, then it's an incomplete pass. But in the 2001, the year of the 9/11 incident, AFC divisional roundup matchup between the New England Patriots and Oakland Raiders, that rule was seemingly forgotten. So Tom Brady fumbled the ball, but the refs called the ball dead as an incomplete pass instead. So that's where you go, it's rigged. It's to benefit Brady. And it's easy to think that, isn't it? Not knowing that Brady is a fallen angel. The call was vital as the Patriots went on to win the game on a game-winning field goal, 16-13. Now, they win by that 3 points. Revelation 16:13. And I saw 3 unclean spirits like frogs come out of the mouth of the dragon, which is Satan, and out of the mouth of the beast, and out of the mouth of the false prophet. That's Revelation 16:13. The game ended 16-13. Incredibly controversial. A game decided by 3 points. And Revelation 16:13 is about the 3 unclean spirits. So you see that how many people are putting that together? All right. How many people are putting that together? All they're going to say is Brady always finds a way to win. How many, guys, give me a woo, especially if you're in the US. How many times have you heard a fanboy say, Brady always finds a way to win? Somebody give me a woo. I heard that loads of times, and I didn't even watch the NFL unless it was a Super Bowl game. But I would always hear people in pubs saying it and bars about Brady. Brady always finds a way to win, or he comes up clutch when it matters, or Brady has a different mentality to everybody else in the league, even though he was the 199th pick in round 6. Really? God wins, yes. Resident felon already won, which is important to know, already won. Just whether you want to be on his team. So not only did they win that game, but they also went on to win the Super Bowl. That was the first of Brady's career. He went on to win 7, 6 with the Patriots. Hey, O'Malley. Tom Brady made his NFL debut 12 days after 9/11, when number 12 connects to the 12 disciples. And look at Revelation 12:12. Give me a woo if you want me to read out Revelation 12:12, as I have 12 likes. Guys, there's 41 in the live. Pretty much deserve 41 likes, to be honest. What time is it? 3:14 pi. I'll tell you what Revelation 12:12 is, and you'll see why number 12 made his NFL debut 12 days after 9/11, okay? I think I'm the only person connecting biblical prophecy to professional sports every day. I think I'm the only one doing it every day. So the 2019 UK general election on 12/12, brilliant. Here's why. Here's why. I know a lot of you asking me about setting up the Bible study. I will make it happen. Now listen, Revelation 12:12. Number 12, Brady made his NFL debut 12 days after 9/11. He did it with the Patriots. Then he won the Super Bowl with the Patriots after the Patriots Act was signed. New England, it's because he connects to the royal family, does Brady. Revelation 12:12. Just know 12 times 12 is 144, the 144,000 sealed angels. I was born on 14/4, grew up in number 12. Kind of like that, to be honest. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. For the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. That should make your heart go like this if you understand the Bible. Revelation 12:12 is all about those who are in love with the world. Okay? And it discusses how Satan knows that his time is short and he's angry. Why is Satan angry? Because as Lucifer, he was cast out of heaven. And he was sent down to earth with us mere mortals. Okay? And he knows that we are God's greatest creation. So he's full of anger. Okay? He'll never get over that anger. He'll never get over his ego. So the Revelation 12:12 is incredibly deep. Incredibly deep. So that's an example of where it's very easy to say the NFL is rigged. I've just showed you that whole game was revolved around Revelation. So if you're telling me these script writers are fully aware of biblical prophecy, which we're told that man wrote the Bible to control man. So I'm not sure why they would give so much emphasis and energy to the Bible, which they supposedly wrote, which is utter nonsense. But it's what I get every day. The Freemasons wrote the Bible to control man. It has no substance. It makes no sense. But it makes sense to those people. So let's talk about this Super Bowl. Following Hurricane Katrina, it took years for New Orleans to go through the recovery efforts for the damage and the loss that it caused. Remember, Satan is the god of the air, the prince of the air. I think he does have a say in the weather. I absolutely do. 3 years after its initial tear, caused so much devastation, they were still recovering, but the city's NFL team, the Saints, again, biblical, they miraculously won the Super Bowl. So New Orleans gets ruined, but shortly after, their NFL team wins the Super Bowl. Miraculous. How interesting is that? We see it many times when a city goes through a big disaster, their franchise ends up winning a major trophy shortly after. All right. The NFL wanted the Saints to win, we're told, because of the publicity, the increased ratings, and the overall feel-good nature of it, because we all love a feel-good story. It's why people are obsessed with Disneyland, for example, fairy tales. So there's this conspiracy that they have outlined the potential that even the opposing quarterback, Peyton Manning, helped fix the game. Not at all. I could code that game and show you it was connected to the Bible. Now, Kansas City Chiefs, they're the current favorite to win the Super Bowl again. And they're the current age dynasty of the NFL that replaced the Patriots. There seems to be these dynasties when it comes to all sports. Okay? Remember, Man United was a dynasty under Ferguson. We now have Man City, that's a dynasty under Guardiola. Okay, we see it in all these sports. So Patrick Mahomes, the baby goat, he's replaced the official goat, Tom Brady. And Brady's last ever Super Bowl was against Mahomes. Many people believe that Brady was going to pass the torch to Mahomes. I didn't. I knew Mahomes was going to get his time, but it wasn't going to be then. So do you remember the Chiefs game against the 49ers? It was really one-sided and really controversial. And there was this bad pass interference call on the 49ers tight end. All right? And didn't get called. Chiefs win. Again, Vegas. It was all Vegas. It's the officials, the corrupt officials. I think they're under a spell. I don't think the players involved are in control of their bodies. I don't believe the officials are. I think there's some sort of black magic that goes on within those stadiums. Even the commentators. I think Satan can do that through magic, through the energy. I think he's able to do that. He has a lot of power within this world. But again, to just say that they all have a script, guys, all the stats are so perfect. I code the MLB every day and I'm like, oh my goodness. This is why this pitcher is starting today against this team. I do it every day. So they're either, if you believe it's man, they're making up the date of births of these players, or they're somehow able to know from a young age, this player is going to be a star and he's going to play at this team and he's going to win that amount of Super Bowls. And he's not going to get injured because we have a crystal ball. No way. Johnny G, but is it the NFL that's creating a dynasty? Yeah, I feel better today. I went to the gym for 2 hours. Cheers, Alto. Still coughing up green. I feel much better. The NFL isn't doing this. The FA isn't doing it. FIFA isn't doing it. This is what you have to realize. I think I might be the only person online saying this. It ain't these governing bodies that are behind who wins. For example, the Ballon d'Or. It ain't a group of men that are going to say it's going to be Messi, it's going to be Haaland. It isn't. I feel like Messi's career, from the day he was born to the day he dies, has been coded. Maradona's. Again, my books, guys, read my books. Tell me that man's done that. All right, what about when Italy won the Euros? The opening goal of the tournament was after 53 minutes, scored by a player born on 5-3. Italy won the Euros for the first time in 53 years. They beat England in the final on penalties. The three players that missed penalties for England were number 11, 17, and 25. Add up those jersey numbers, it's 53. Queen Elizabeth was coronated in 53. The final was in England. The opening game was in Rome. And then we had Italy against England in the final. 53 is the 16th prime. Italy win. the 16th edition of the Euros, to win their first Euros in 53 years. So they're doing that for every game. Every player that participated in Euro 2020, all of them, the manager must know, the assistant manager must know. You'd expect the physio and kit people to know, because they're in the, as far as I'm aware as a footballer, they're in the changing room. All right? The physio's there. There's a separate room, but the physio's there. They all know. Then all the media must know. All the commentators must know. The people interviewing them at the end of the match, they must have known. They all know. No. No, because you can't explain the 45-yard screamers or the horrific injuries. You're going to snap your leg in 3 places today. All right, got it, gaffer. Don't worry, you'll be back in 9 months. We've already got your date scripted out for you. No. There's some demonic entities. They worship Baphomet. I've been really studying Baphomet, and it all makes sense to me. All right, how they're getting this power and energy through Baphomet, who they worship. So let me say, what about the Minneapolis miracle? You always hear these miracles that are mocking Christ. Only God can perform miracles. So how in the world does an NFL safety, in this case, the Saints' Marcus Williams, absolutely blunder that huge tackle? All Williams needed to do was wrap up Vikings wide receiver Stephon Diggs. The game would have been over. He didn't do it. All right? So, again, for the average fan, the only way that makes sense is if he was paid off. But if NFL players are getting multi-million-dollar contracts, which we're told, even the average ones, multi-million-dollar contracts, do you really believe that you're going to be able to pay them off? So these NFL players, they come through college, yeah? I'm sure since they were kids, their dream was to play in the NFL. They go through college. They must have had an incredible college career, which is all coded as well. I've coded college football, college basketball. Just watch my NCAA basketball code for why Connecticut won it all. Crazy. It's going on at college as well, the code. So they must have been like the dominant athlete at the school. They go to college, probably the most dominant athlete at the college. They go to the NFL. We're told that they get these $1 million contracts, and you're telling me that they get paid off. They're in a Super Bowl. All right. From what I've heard, the bonuses that players receive from winning a Super Bowl is huge. Let's check. How much money does a player get for winning the Super Bowl? $157,000 bonus. All right. The agreement stipulates players on the winning team earn an extra $157,000. If you lose, you still get $82,000. So this player is willing to just give up $157,000, which is plenty of money. Plus, it's his legacy on the line. Win a Super Bowl, there's more chance you'll get a bigger contract, or more clubs are going to want to come in for you. So obviously, you won the Super Bowl. You're part of the elite. No, I'm just going to let this play out. Let's lose the Super Bowl. 9 months playing these games. All right. Working our asses off. Training every day. They like to show you them training to add some more real life element to it. Because we can't deny this, guys. The majority of them in the NFL, they're athletes. They are athletes. They ain't denying their athleticism. They're beasts. They're lightning quick. Okay? They're athletes. They must have been to be playing at college. Now, I'm an athlete and I'm ultra competitive. There's no amount of money you could have paid me when I was a footballer. If I was in, you've got to say the Super Bowl is the World Cup final. Yeah. It's the World Cup final for a National Football League player. It's the World Cup final. If you're telling me that my whole life I wanted to be a footballer, wanted to play for my country, and I wanted to play in a World Cup, you're telling me I become a footballer, I play for England, I'm in a World Cup final, somebody calls me up and says, illusion. Let's say I'm the goalkeeper, all right? Not a goalkeeper. I'm a goalkeeper. It's like, illusion, we need to make sure that you concede at least 3 goals today. All right? What's to say that the other team's even going to have 3 shots? So that means they need to know to get these shots off. Or they say, make sure you miss a penalty. We'll pay you if you miss the penalty. Who's to say that they were even going to be on penalty? Judas. Come on, man. Cheers, PMC. Adam could have been playing with Tom Cleverley. I bet I was better than Tom Cleverley. And he played at United and Watford and England. How did he play for England, that guy? How did Tom Cleverley play for England? Absolutely comical. Again, he's probably my age now, Cleverley. If I ever get back to England, my mates are all friends with him. I'd love to have a kick about. I'll say, hey, Hudson, Igman, get Clevs. Let's have a game of 5-a-side. Let's see how good he is. I could probably set that up, to be fair. I could actually set that up. I bet me and Hudson are just as good as Cleverley. Hudson was a semi-pro player with me. Brilliant player. Lightning quick, strong, great goal scorer. Him and I were strikers together. I bet he's as good as Cleverley, if not better. And all they'll say is, oh, Cleverley was retired now. Well, yeah, well, he was playing for Watford last season. So let's see how good he is. Do you know any Swedish football teams? Mold? No, then is that Swedish? I'm not even sure. It's not a great league, is it? Is it Malmo? I think Malmo is the only one I know, or AIK. Other than that, I don't know much about Swedish football, to be honest with you. I have no interest in knowing about Swedish football. Yeah, Mold's Norwegian. I was getting it mixed up with Malmo. I think they're Swedish. I think it connects to Zlatan. So, yeah, like today, you've got the Chiefs, they're playing the Lions. Nearly everyone I've spoken to says the Lions are going to upset or they're going to cover the spread because Chiefs' best wide receivers out. Guys, doesn't matter about the players. One big advantage of being part of my community, it ain't about the players in regards to their talent. All right? If it was, Mahomes would have thrown a touchdown against Brady in Super Bowl 55. It wouldn't have been limited to 3 field goals. So sometimes it can benefit you. If a star player is out for the opposing team, all right, or the star player's out for the team that you like, oh, well, they won't win now. Or the odds have dropped. So, for example, the Lions were plus 6.5 spread. So if they lost by a field goal, you'd win. If they lose by a touchdown, you're screwed. Okay? If they lose by, a touchdown and an extra point, maybe they lose by a touchdown and you still cover the 6.5. They'll make it a sweat. That's the whole point of gambling. It is energy harvesting. Absolutely, that is a big element. It ain't just about to take your money, but they know by taking your money, it takes your energy. And even if you win the money, it takes your energy. It's your currency. All right? So everyone I've spoken to said Lions are going to at least cover. I think they win. So I thought, let me look into the Chiefs. And I found loads of stuff for the Chiefs. But we know most bettors as well, that they look for an underdog, especially in the NFL. They want to find an underdog. They want to find value. And many times the underdog will take the lead. And you start saying, I knew it. Then we get that fourth quarter, just like you get in the NBA. Everything changes in the fourth quarter. It's like the last quarter of a football game as well. Once it gets to about 70 minutes, you start seeing all these late goals for the top teams. So, again, I think everyone is all over the Lions. I'd be careful. I see the numbers for the Lions, absolutely. But I put on my website, I said, here's all your stuff for Kansas City Chiefs. I know it's the opening game and it's always a risk betting on the favorite. But I actually think more people are going to back the Lions than the Chiefs tonight, to be honest with you. Mr. Man, do it. If you can still run around and kick a ball, go join a team. There's so many teams in England, mate, if that's where you're based. And there's so many, not having a go at you, I don't know your level. It doesn't matter how bad you are in England, there's a team for you. You go play for a Sunday League team at the fourth tier of Sunday League, where they're literally playing for fun. There's guys who can't even run. You get a couple of decent players, young guys who dominate. But do it. Go play five-a-side. I'm actually watching a game tomorrow at 5 o'clock. A kid that I coach, he plays for the All-Star team now, which is good news. His dad wants me to watch but be undercover because his kid gets intimidated when I watch. So I don't know how I'm going to be undercover. Hat, sunglasses, stand from a distance, like a horror movie. You watch Swedish House Mafia? Yeah, I've had friends watch them, say they were decent. Watched Avicii, said he was incredible. Lions might get eaten. Remember, Satan is a lion. He wants to devour. So we'll see what happens. Again, I ain't a fanboy. I don't watch these games. I like to reveal the numbers. I'm always intrigued in the final score. Always intrigued. But if the Chiefs win, it's all about coronavirus. That's all I'm going to say. If they win it. So, yeah, just a little warning to you that they're going to start mocking you, telling you that man is writing the scripts. See through it, guys. We know that they're not going to give you what you want. All right, in regards to the truth, which is Jesus. Anything. I think they know, even if they come out and say it's rigged, it's scripted, people will still watch. It is a cult. It is no different to wrestling. Everybody thought, well, they've revealed the truth. The lines are no longer blurred. They've told us that it's predetermined. Wrestling made more money than it's ever made since. Now, if you're watching a scripted game, or you know that it's predetermined, the outcome. You're telling me that people don't get emotional watching soap operas? Anybody watching a soap opera knows deep down, logically, that this is actors. This is a set. There is a script. However, if one of the characters dies, they cry. If there's a tragic event, they cry. If their favorite actor in Coronation Street gets married, they cry. So they know that it's all a show, yet they're still emotionally invested in it. So I think they're going to tell you all that it is all entertainment. It always has been entertainment. All right, and now we're ready to tell you all. you're still going to watch it. You'll still buy the merchandise just like they do in wrestling. Because even if it is scripted, the average person's not going to have a clue who's going to win. So it will still be blurred lines. Like Roman Reigns is the champion. Yeah, well, he's scripted to be the champion. Yeah, but he's the best speaker and he's the best athlete. He's got the best gimmick. So therefore, he's the best. And I'm on Team Roman. So therefore, I win. That's what it's going to be. Patrick Mahomes, why do you think when they win a Super Bowl, they get awarded a wrestling title? Why? They do in the NBA as well. Because they're all these athletes / entertainers are working for Satan at the highest level to take you away from Christ. Adam, what would you do if I streak the Euro 2024 final with subscribe to the Illusion t-shirt? You mean stream? I'd say thank you, and I'd be like, I don't think anyone's going to have a clue who the Illusion is. To be honest, my channel just won't grow. Phil Mitchell is immune to booze. Look how red his face is. These fanboys are too invested to ever say they are fools. There's a lot of talk about fools in the Bible. Gareth Bale is good at every sport. Yeah, from what I've heard. If England wins 0-2, then the historical stats would be 2-2-4. Are you kidding me? That wouldn't shock me 2-0. Noel, my Ronaldo video is on BitChute because YouTube took it down. They took it down. It's on BitChute. Just go into BitChute, type in the Illusion. You'll find it there. Did I ever tell you that Trump's grandmother died 6666 and was born in Bavaria? And the Illuminati were founded in Bavaria on 1/5 or 5/1. And Obama was born 15 years and 51 days after Trump. And 15 plus 51, 66, which is when the Church of Satan was founded. And obviously Trump replaced Obama. Guys, do you guys, I know I keep getting this, just go on TikTok, Illusion. It's a game changer. I get why you say it. Do you guys, Adam, do you think everyone's life's coded? Yes. I think you have free will as well. I think there'd be no point in life without free will. But yeah, I do. I think there's a code or multiple codes. And then you have a say in which code is fulfilled. That's how I see it. So yeah, I think everything in the world has a numerical code. So of course we will. O'Malley, I've already said, hey mate. So what was I going to say to you? Oh yeah, this is what I want to say to you. How can my channel grow? How can the Illusion grow, guys? I have 6 books, which should be read by thousands of people. I have a really solid YouTube channel with thousands of videos with remarkable information. I have a decent website. How can I grow? Not even me. Because I am at a point where it's just like, like when you go to the gym. You go to the gym and you get all pumped up and you feel all good. And then you get to a point where you don't feel like you're seeing any more progress and you can lose motivation. I have moments where I'm like that with YouTube and Decoded and everything like that. I know I'm serving my purpose with what I'm doing. But I look at other people's channels and I'm like, I shouldn't, the Bible says we shouldn't be doing this. We shouldn't be comparing. It's really something we all have to work on. I think we all constantly are comparing ourselves with other people. But when it comes to my work, I think that's the only time I do it. I'm like, how's this guy got 200,000 subs? Or there's even people doing what I'm doing that have a bigger following than me, and they don't really reveal anything. It's like, the only thing I agree with is TikTok, but I don't want to do it. It is just promoting that short attention span. I find it hard enough doing those YouTube shorts. So is there anything else other than TikTok, or is that it? Is that the only thing I can do? Go to TikTok, do my shorts, this incredibly complex knowledge, breaking it down in 1-minute videos. Your actions and your heart determines your morality. I agree. Fake subs, they even have bots acting as comments now. It's quite sickening. Yeah, that's true. I'm like, if I have 12,000 people on Twitter, why do I only have 10 on YouTube? Wouldn't you think that all 12 would go out of the way to sign up for my YouTube? It's not that hard to set up a YouTube account. I don't know how many of my actual followers on Twitter are genuine people either. I don't think it's just deceivers that have these bots. I think I have bots. Because you get a few comments and you're like, wait, that makes no sense. Why is this guy even following me for him to say that? That's not a real person. And then you always go, they have like one person following them. And you're like, interesting, eh? I hope you watched my video about weak men. Of course, it got demonetized, but I expected that. Spoke from the heart. There was no script involved about how we have to step it up now. Weak men everywhere. And before you know it, it becomes the norm. We need to step it up, man. Probably the last generation. You know what I mean? Where we've got genuine men now. I think we are the last generation. Give it 10, 15 years. Where are they going to be? Where are they going to be, those men? They're disappearing every day, man. I'm not interested in my ego, noble truth, or being famous or selling merchandise or any of that. My point is I have an incredible message. I think I'm one of the best in the world at what I do. And I have 10,000 subs after 3 years. I watch some other people's YouTube channels and I go, what is their purpose? What are they talking about? There's nothing of any substance here. But again, YouTube's all right with that. And again, just the way of the world, what I do, people don't want to hear it, do they? People don't want to hear what I have to say because it shatters their illusions. If I just sat here promoting everything that the mainstream promotes, I bet I'd have about 50,000. Easy. If I talked about the NFL game today, gave you the code, and acted like it was all genuine, I'd have so many subs. It'd be ridiculous. And people on my website. All right? I'd approach it like, Chiefs are playing the Lions. All right? Chiefs, I'd give you a breakdown on the history. They just won Super Bowl 57 on February the 12th. Okay, 2023. In a really closely contested game against the Eagles. Now they're going to take on the Lions, who had a really strong end to the season last season. And they could easily upset without Chiefs wide receiver representing them in the game today. So, guys, what do you reckon? What do you reckon? Who's going to win? Go to my website, guys. I'll tell you who's going to win. Easy money. Lock it up. Lock and loaded, baby. Lock City. Just pay me $10 and I promise you, you'll win. You'll win. I could do that, man. I'd probably make a fortune if I wanted to take advantage of gullible, desperate fanboys. Being told to do it by many people. Use your gifts, take advantage of other people. No. No, I want there to be substance to my work. I want people to learn from my work. I want people to care about the message. I want them to study scripture. I don't want them to be fanboys. So why would I present my work as a fanboy? That's just who I am. I'm genuine, and that's the thing. Not many genuine people online. Adam, could you please put the link up for the Princess Diana video? All you have to do, Miss Jones, go to my website. I think you're already there. In the post section, just type in Princess Diana, and it's there. Or you can go on YouTube and just type it in. Illusion Princess Diana. The thing is, that video was done a while ago. My voice sounds really weird in it. It's echoey, which is kind of annoying. I watch you because you're a good soul. Cheers, mate. I appreciate that. YouTuber Kali Muscle has turned to the Bible and he has 3.5 million subs. I'd have to listen to how he's preaching about the Bible. There's so many false prophets who are taking advantage of people. So I told you, anyone can say God wins, or I turn to Jesus and Jesus Christ is my savior. They can do that. There are people definitely doing that to take advantage of people and to make a living from it who don't have the Holy Spirit. It is definitely an element or an aspect of their life where they can take advantage. Mine's organic. Okay, incredibly organic, but 3.5 million people following him. I can't trust that person for a second. Or maybe you can. Maybe you can. Maybe God does allow certain channels to have that amount of people sub to them, but I ain't convinced. I met a girl from Barnsley that's near you. I should have smashed it, really. Okay. I got offered a contract with Barnsley. I think you know that, when I was younger. Barnsley. Yeah, it's not the nicest place from my experience. All right. So if you're watching the NFL tonight, enjoy, I guess. What am I going to do now? I've got to make a phone call. Really like your work, Adam. I appreciate that, O'Malley. I wish more people shared my work and retweeted it. I've noticed this as well. The bigger channels on YouTube or on Twitter who have this big following, how are they ignoring my work? Like, if they retweeted my work, these big channels, like Donnie Darkin seems like a great guy, and he's talking about Trump being the Antichrist, and he's got amazing work on Twitter. He knows who I am. He knows I've got this incredible book about Donald Trump. All right, and he seems to respect my work. And he has 83,000 followers on Twitter. Why can he not just do a post? Guys, check out The Illusion. He has an incredible book about Donald Trump and the Antichrist. If I just had a few people online with big followings promote me, it's a game changer. But none of them will. They all talk about, I want to do a podcast with you. Shall we do a podcast? Oh, we should do a podcast. I'd love to do a podcast with you, mate. And then it comes down to it, they don't. So I am at a point where I feel like the knowledge that I have, that I've acquired through the Holy Spirit, I really believe some of these big platforms or big channels, they're intimidated by my knowledge. I do believe that, whereas they should give me an opportunity to speak. but they won't. There's definitely ego involved. If I find somebody I like, I always promote them. I share their work. I put it on my website. I'll tweet about them. But the work I've done, there must be a handful of big YouTubers who are like, I should really promote this guy's work. But they don't. Nobody promotes my work. The people who do promote my work, unfortunately, is people who have like 100 followers on Twitter. That's the harsh reality. So if any of you guys know any popular YouTubers or anyone who's doing really well on social media and you know them personally, just say, do me a favor and retweet Illusion's video. You don't even have to watch it. I don't get support, guys. Really. I never have when it comes to social media and YouTube. That's a fight for every sub. So if there's any way you guys can help me with that, do it. And I'd appreciate it. Hey, Justin, much love to you, mate. Well, Decoded Reality lives in Mexico. Again, Decoded Reality. I would happily have a chat with him. I think we'd completely do that, but I wouldn't do it in a way where I want to do that. I would ask some really good questions. He would ask some really good questions. Would he have me on his show? I don't think he would. From what I get from Decoded Reality, from my experience interacting with him, is he thinks he knows everything. He's really convinced himself that he has the answer to everything, and he holds all the cards. That's what put me off him. It's like the guy's intelligent, he's very new age, and he talks a lot of sense. He reminds me like of Russell Brand. I've told you. That's how I see somebody like him. And I'm sure he'll talk to me. He'll try to belittle me as if he knows everything and I don't. But I think deep down he knows that I could go and have a deep conversation with him. Don't think he'll do it. I could email him, but I don't want it to be an ego fight either. So I haven't watched this stuff for a while. It really wound me up. The whole production of it all, the music behind it all, and him playing like this, some sort of wizard. It wasn't my cup of tea the more I became spiritually connected to Christ. It's like this guy just wants to be a guru and he's not. So yeah, he lives in Mexico. Mexico's huge, mate. It's funny when people say that about Mexico. Oh, he lives in Mexico. You should go meet him. Mexico's huge. It's huge. All right, there's certain parts of Mexico you have to fly 5 or 6 hours to get to a different city. It's not like he lives down the street. Hey, Decoded Reality, mate. Fancy the streaming. You know what I mean? Big place is Mexico. Yeah, again, a lot of people who support my work, they have really small channels and really small following. And I really appreciate all of them. But like I've got Adam Lastman, really nice guy, genuine guy, always supported me. He's supported me on my website, on Twitter, and buys all of my books. And he's a great guy. And he basically retweets everything that I put out. But he's got no following. So although I appreciate him doing it, and he's a great guy, it's not giving me traction. This is one time this has ever happened. I'll give you a brilliant example before I go. I did a live stream with Mark Atwood. Some of you may know him, some of you may not. It went great, great conversation. People were blown away by the information that was shared. After that live stream, I got 1,500 new subs in 2 days. 2 days after that, my YouTube channel, I got banned for 2 weeks. So I did one podcast with a pretty popular guy. Let me check how many people follow him. 41,000 people are following Mark. And he shared my work. He promoted me. So did AJ Roberts. I did shows with those two. They have contacts with celebrities and stuff. I've never really done an interview with a celebrity. As soon as I did that, and they were like, who's this guy? Who's this illusion? He's blowing my mind. Never heard of him. And all it needs is a couple of these influencers to say, this illusion is mind-blowing. The information he shares daily needs to be shared. Check him out, sub to his channel. I need like Donut. Do you all know who Donut is? Donut? Any of you? Donut? You must have heard of Donut if you're into what I'm doing. So I did a Instagram live with Donut and a guy called Andreas. And it went incredibly well. Blew a lot of people's minds. And then Donut said, we have to set up a stream. All right, you and I, and we'll do a stream. We'll do a podcast. And I'm like, okay, he's got a big following. He's like-minded. He's open-minded. He's very intelligent. He's a great speaker. Him and I just speaking for an hour and a half would have been incredible. And he wanted to do it. And now nothing. All it needs is a donut to say, subscribe to The Illusion. That's it. One post or story. But no. And I've promoted him loads of times. So anyways, I don't know. I'm going to go now. I told my mate who plays football and is out living in Malta to sub to your channel. Cheers, mate. Malta, from what I've heard, is a beautiful place. My mate Joe Colbeck played in Malta, I think for 2 seasons. Said it's a beautiful place. I'm sure the level of football is not great. It's probably semi-pro, level in Malta. Such a small country, but good for him playing football. Beautiful part of the world. Love it. All right, guys, I'm going to go. Got a lot I need to do. But thanks to all of you that do support me, that like my videos, that share my work, that support me in all aspects. I'm very grateful, all right? I am grateful to you all. Don't worry about that. I always have been, always will be. So cheers. God bless you all. Take care. God wins. Have a great weekend. And much love to you all, okay? Take care.